The RV Show USA is brought to you by Rockwood, building better RVs, making smarter RVers.
Now, for the answer to the question I hear all the time from RVers, when will Camping World change its ways? When will Camping World begin providing more honesty, more transparency with their customers? When will the phone calls that we get, like this quick one I received the other day, stop coming in? Listen to this.
Hey, this is Kathleen Underwood. I listened to your show for the first time. I wish I would have listened to it before I bought the lemon from Camping World and Thor, and I'm out $100,000. But anyways, if you could tell me how to do something about selling this thing or whatever, it would be greatly appreciated. I'm a widow, I'm by myself, and they took me to the cleaners. Hey, thanks a lot.
You know, it's calls like Kathleen's that just kill me. It does. I hate that. You can hear the desperation, the despair in her voice. And people ask all the time, when will Camping World stop doing the things that are financially destroying hardworking, good people? You do not want to hear the answer, folks, because you're not going to like it. You're not. They will not stop doing what they're doing. They're not going to stop. Similar to politicians who will tell you, they'll try and convince you that their actions are only trying to help us while they get richer and gain more power over their subjects, you and me. There's an endless stream of people who are intoxicated, completely clueless too. And they're intoxicated. What I mean by that, they're intoxicated with the dream of RVing. The dream of travel, simplicity, and they fall under the spell of the RV fantasy. When you combine somebody with money and very little knowledge of RVs, along with, a heartfelt desire to buy the fantasy of RVing, they are so easy to manipulate, so easy to influence, so easy to take advantage of. And that's why education is so important. But people won't do it. They won't take the time. They won't take the time to learn the tricks that sleazy dealers use on the unsuspecting buyer. And why won't they take that time? Well, it's because it takes time away from their fantasy. And learning the tricks that sleazy dealers use isn't nearly as fun as the fantasy. When you combine the sleazy tactics with an endless stream of dreamers, of people who are believing in a fantasy, with the overall mood of people in today's society, fractured society, hostile environment where everybody is turning on each other, it can be a train wreck for people like Kathleen Underwood. Does she sound like somebody who may just have bought the fantasy of RV ownership, or does it sound like she did her homework? I think we know the answer. She says she wishes she would have found this show before being fleeced by Camping World. I do too, Kathleen. I do too. And the sad thing is that I'm the kind of person who's going to tell Kathleen the truth, that there's likely not much that I can do or suggest, and that it's too late. My advice is that if you are thinking of buying an RV, if you know somebody who's ready to buy a new RV, stop them, or at least slow them down. Tell them about this show. Have them watch some of our videos on YouTube. Be skeptical. Be pragmatic. Get informed. Realize that you as an RV buyer are responsible for your own education. You are responsible for doing your homework. If you're just now finding this show and you've been fleeced by the folks at the largest RV chain dealership in the country or by another unscrupulous dealer, it's probably too late for me to help you very much either. But I will try, promise. As I said a few minutes ago, if you want to know when Camping World is going to stop squeezing the unsuspecting buyer, they're not, as long as there are suckers out there. Customers who truly believe that if you are not happy, the chairman's not happy. They'll let you dig your own grave, and they'll even give you the shovel to do it. The responsibility on making a prudent decision on who to buy from and what brand of RV to buy is the buyer's responsibility. There isn't any one brand that makes up 100% perfect units. There's some really good brands, of course. But even those great brands can turn out the occasional problem RV. That's where a great dealer comes in. Don't believe all the window dressing. Don't believe some dude that says he's only happy if you're happy. Don't be so quick to put yourself in an awful financial position. All that negative being said, I know that it sounds awful because it is. RVing can be so great, really can be, but it's not quite the fantasy many people buy. It's best enjoyed by people who do their homework and have realistic expectations, not those who simply buy a dream. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Would love to hear what you think. Leave me a voicemail at 1-330-WINGMAN, 1-330-WINGMAN.